BassResinator here. Chameleon. Now I'm not going to put glass eyes in him because I don't know if you've ever seen a chameleon. They got little turrets and then the little black eyeball on the very end of it. And there's a little black eyeball way down in there. But those turrets are colored. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the different colors. EyeCandy, greens and blues. And these are color shifting type of things. These are not. This is koi yellow and rose gold. But I'm going to color it all up, do the resin and stuff, and then after I pop it out, that's when I'll color that little eyeball black. So if I don't talk, it's because I'm trying to get these things with color into different areas. Okay, starting with the turrets. Don't want to have too much on here because then it'll spill. Now you can't see what I'm doing. Let me do the other side, see if that'll work. I can't tell. I think there's color there, but this is a real pale, and this silicone is super soft and it's sticking to the silicone mat. I think I can put a little bit more in there. Well, there's color all around it, so I don't know if that's a little bit better. Now, if my hand gets in the way, I'm sorry, but gotta get the other one. Oh, wouldn't you know, it popped out, and so I got a dribblage. I was pushing hard, trying to get the resin, I mean not the resin, the powder to stick. So now I got to cover that up. Get my big wipe. Got him. Now I'll let you look in there. Okay. Now I've seen pictures, I was doing some research on chameleon colors, and I noticed this one had bright yellow lips, or what would be equivalent of lips. So I'm going to try and see. Yeah, he does have, right around here in the bottom, there's an area where I'll just color the yellow there. See, I want to get these colors in first before I come in with more of the other, because if I don't, those will get, the small areas that I'm doing right now will get covered up, and I don't want them covered up. There's some of that fell off the side. And there's somebody's dog outside barking, and it's got a super high pitch. A high pitched bark. Well, this, he may just have, you know, that whole bottom area is going to be yellow. I don't care. It's not staying in place. I'll show you what I'm doing in just a second, because this is, it is super soft silicone, and it flops, and every time I try to get it to show you something, down it goes. So there you can see the yellow chin. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. And there's an area right in here. Okay, now close that up for a bit. I may come back for some more yellow in a bit, but in the meantime, I don't want to spill it. A little bit went above. Okay, there. Now, I'm really afraid, see those little grooves down there in the forehead area, that if I start going down there with one of these applicators, it's going to get in there too thick, and then when I go to unmold it, it's going to have it will have left, I wanted to say pollen, it would have left mica in there, and it it looks like sort of, that yellow looks sort of like pollen. It will have left mica in there, and then there'll be little air pockets and stuff too, so I don't want that. Okay, now I have this green right here, and I have an applicator back here to the back where I use the green, and I want to give it freckles. I have that green in there because I dumped some in there. Whoop. I dumped some in once, and then with some alcohol, and that sort of worked but sort of didn't. Okay, freckle on the head. And that's what's left over that didn't dry. I mean, it didn't after it dried. Ooh, stay up there. I think I'm only going to put him on his head. Get right on the nose. On the schnoz. Okay, so there's that. Hum. Okay. On this, I'm going to give his legs this Shinto. The problem with this mold being as flimsy, it's going to be really easy to unmold because it's super flimsy like this. But whenever I go to a spot and I bump it, it goes choomp and it shoots back. And get that green out the way. When it shoots back, it has a possibility of chunking mica with it, and I don't want that. No. No can do. Oh, I can't go for that. Hall & Oates. When I was a kid, we didn't have internet. Internet was only for certain universities and the armed forces. And there's no way to find out about music groups like you can just do a search now. Who are Hall & Oates? Well, when I heard Hall & Oates, I was listening on the radio. I thought they were talking about some farmers hauling oats. Didn't know about it was two people's last names. Don't think I was the only one. Now, I am not going to back this with black. I'm thinking I'm going to go with like a silver or something. So that those little ridges in the back and stuff can be a silver color. These toe things have little ridges on them, and that's what catches on this applicator and wants to chunk it. Thou shalt not chunk. It is forbidden. show you the legs. Oh, you went outside the box. And that just messed it up. Spray a little bit more. Okay. So his legs are red, his turrets are rose gold, yellow lips. Yeah, I was going to do... No, I am going to do that. I'm going to change the color of his hind legs. I'm going to go that rose gold on that. Get the rose gold one. I want him changing color from the back to the front, if that makes sense. Right, finish off those legs because I didn't have them quite right. That's a pretty pink. He's got Sharpay legs. They're super wrinkly. I'm having to push that all the way down onto the mat so I can get those hard to reach areas. I'll show you as soon as I pull up. Okay. Now, I need more yellow on the side back here. I want to give him little riblets of yellow every once in a while. And then I'm going to start dusting with the blue and the green. Starting blue in the front and going to green in the back. Then I'm going to lay down this yellow first. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. For those of you over across the pond that don't have AC, that's what central air conditioning sounds like when it kicks on. Oh. And then it just roars. Now, I'll hold it up so you can see more or less what I was doing. Got the yellow stripes going all the way back. And now I gotta go blue to the front. And I think I'm just gonna use a brush for that instead of using those little things, because I'll be here for forever and a day. And this is Aomidori. Wow. This is really pretty stuff here. And the way the powder works, whatever went down first will be what's seen. So even though some of this blue is falling on top of the yellow, and I'm gonna get some under that, on this upper lip. That the yellow will still be seen, the pink will still be seen, because that those went down first. Whoa. Went right on over the top. We get a little bit down there on his spine. Okay, enough of that one. Whoa, that lid just went rolling, rolling, rolling. Rawhide. Rawhide. Get 'em up, boom, up. Rawhide. Now to get out the key G. Go over that blue area a little bit so it kind of sort of faded in. They're very similar color. The very tip of the tail, I'm going to use that very dark green, which is a chrome green that I got from Resin Rockers. Chromium. Wow, this is some kind of wonderful. Get this dark green on the end of my brush. Got that in there. Now get this other green the rest of the way. Now I'm going to take it and blow it out. I'll be right back. I decided against silver and I went with violet resin dye from Let's Resin, and I mixed it so it's quite dark, but I want something sparkly to hang out in those little ridges down there on the bottom, so I'm going to use this metal flake called Berry Scary, and it's 0.08 size from Tropical Glitz. Look at that metal flake. Wow. And I'm going to load it into this. I'm using Let's Resin Deep Pour for this, because this is quite a deep mold. It's about 3 inches deep. Scoop 1, scoop 2, scoop 3. People have heard me talk about Tropical Glitz before, and they're mostly used for automotive paint coloring and stuff. But I find that a lot of their colors are really cool in resin art. So go over to tropicalglitz.net and check out their stuff. They got some really good things. Okay, so let me move. Come on now. So you can see this get stirred in. Now it's not going to add much color at all. Right here it is because it's floating on the top. But that violet's going to be the main color that drops in there. I have Let's Resin does, I mean not Let's Resin, Tropical Glitz does have a few resin dyes, but they have mostly glitters and EyeCandy type things that you can mix into paint for the for these really outlandish paint jobs. It just, wow, you just go look at their stuff. Super amazing what they can get a car to look like. And I've seen them do surfboards, actual surfboards, and different coats of paint, and they start it with one color and then they go over the top with a candy and then they seal it with a clear, and it's like, wow. Now that is cool looking. And it's, I'm looking at, whoosh, I'm looking at the whole container as I'm stirring it, and it's just sparkling all the way down. I'll pick it up for you just a second so you can see it. Just sparkling all the way down. Coolness. Okay. Go do your stuff, sparklies. Now I have no idea what this is going to do to these colors on the leg. What this violet. Now it's making its way around the tail. Snaking its way around. Okay, I want it a little bit domed because it's going to shrink as it cures. And when it does, that tail's going to get awfully thin, so I want to make sure we get okay. Now I gotta go find something else to use. Violet colored. I thought that was going to use about 3.5 ounces, and that's what I used, and I still have about half again as much. So I have a couple molds here. A purple, a purple pumpkin. What say you? I have a little pumpkin mold from Resin Rockers. Everything I'm using in here, I will put in the description. So if you're interested in acquiring any of this stuff, you'll know where to go. This little pumpkin mold. This might be the perfect amount. I'm just afraid that metal flake, oh, it's not going to be quite enough. That metal flake's just going to sink all the way down into that little stem, which would be fine. You know, I have some other little pumpkins that I pulled out that I could possibly drop in there to fill that up, to cause that level to go up, and hopefully not be seen. Don't want to waste the resin, you know. Those, I'll show you what. I pulled it out and it went flat on one side. Little tiny thing. Well, here's nothing. Well, that came up a little ways. I've got 4 of them. Let me use another one. Maybe I'll use all 4. Okay. Hopefully I can get that to go down underneath. Go down. There we go. It went down. Now this still isn't full. However, I can put a some UV resin on the bottom of that to fill up that area. You ever seen a purple pumpkin? Well, when this is all done, you're going to. And if you see little bits of red in there, that's because those little pumpkins that I put in were red pumpkins. Okay, so now we sit and wait. See you later. These are for the most part cured. They're a little bendy maybe, but there was quite a bit of shrinkage on that pumpkin. I don't think I'm going to fill all that up with UV resin. I think I'm just going to have a short pumpkin. And I can tell that a lot of that metal flake drifted to the bottom, but there's still some floating at the top. So let me get the pumpkin out first. How often do you see a purple pumpkin? Look at that. He's got shoulders of glitter, and the rest is translucent. I mean, if I put that on a lamp, wow, it's clear, but it's super dark. But yeah, that's pretty. Now try this. Well, that popped open pretty easily. I'm seeing color. I'm seeing color. Whoa, yep. Come on, tail. Snake on out of there. Yeah, you got a relative called a snake. Okay. Wow. That is so cool. Now I gotta color those little tips. You know what? I'm gonna put a little dab of black UV resin on there. Look at that. Okay, black UV resin, UV flashlight, just a little dab, and there are a couple spots. I can feel them. I didn't see them, but there are a couple spots right here that need to be filled, and I'll have to do that with clear UV resin. But I'll take care of that after a bit. I want to do these eyes first. Just a little dot right on top. Oh, let me get right there. That black turns to a kind of a cloudy color when it's cured. Oh, he had to dribble off on the side of his face. Just a second. Well, I thought I pushed restart on it. I'm gonna file off the edge of this bottom so that it's not real sharp. But other than that, I think that looks really cool. And this guy, I got his back fixed. That rose gold, and then that is here and here on the back legs and the eye sockets. That yellow came out of a gold color. Looks like a real one. And you can even see these little green specks. I'm going to get some pictures out in the sun. I think it's not doing it justice with this ring light and the other light in the room. But yeah, chameleon. Looks like a real one. Rainbow chameleon. Okay. Thank you to all my subscribers. And to those who are just interested in seeing what I do, subscribe. It's free. And then you can push that little bell and be advised when I'm going to do something new. So, yeah. We'll see you on the next one.